No PM and journalist gathering next year. Minister of Information Q Kanharith has said that due to COVID-19 pandemic concerns, this year no journalists will gather with Prime Minister Hun Sen, an otherwise annual event that takes place on January 14. Senior U.S. official emphasizes that President Joe Biden ready to meet with PM Hun Sen in the ASEAN-US summit in February 2022. Mr. Derek Chollet, advisor to the United States Department of State, emphasized that President Joe Biden is preparing for a summit with Prime Minister Teko Hun Sen in the ASEAN-US Framework Summit in February 2022. Work underway on Vietnam-Cambodia Friendship Monument in Svay Rieng Province. Covering approximately 7,500 square meters, the monument is the 23rd friendship monument to be built in Cambodia, which indicates the historical significance of Vietnamese volunteer soldiers' assistance to the neighboring country in its fight against the genocidal Pol Pot regime. Angkor Remembrance to celebrate Khmer culture and heritage. The first event in Cambodia's Angkor Remembrance kicked off yesterday at Angkor Archaeological Park to demonstrate the long-lasting heritage, civilization, and culture of the Khmer Empire. KP ready to win seats in 2022 elections. The Kampucheanian Party, KP, has committed to participate in the upcoming commune elections, welcoming former opposition leader Kem Sokha to join them if his 5-year political ban is lifted. Royal decree signed for return of 2 ex-CNRP senior officials. With the commune elections approaching, 2 more senior officials of the court-dissolved Cambodia National Rescue Party, CNRP, have been granted political rehabilitation by King Norodom Sihamoni. Former parliamentarian appeals trafficking conviction. Phnom Penh Court of Appeal on Friday held a hearing for the case of former parliamentarian Ahmed Yahya and his nephew who were convicted of trafficking women to Saudi Arabia in 2004. Plastic for Ice Programme a winner for Tunnel Sap Lake. The Ministry of Environment said yesterday that the Plastic for Ice Exchange Programme, which is run by the Tampering Snong Rossi Foundation, has reduced pollution by about 100 tons of plastic each year, and prevented damage to the ecosystem of the Tunnel Sap Lake. Nearly 1,000 new clean water wells inaugurated. The inauguration of 964 pump wells and 54 community ponds in 10 provinces under the second phase of the Rural Water Supply Project was held on Saturday. It was made possible by Chinese government grants. Sambo Wildlife deemed second most important site for white-shouldered ibis. Sambo Wildlife Sanctuary of the Mekong Flooded Forest in Kratie Province is the second most important site for white-shouldered ibis in Cambodia. 2022 Dr. Go Kung Sui Scholarship open for application. The 2022 Dr. Go Kung Sui, GKS, Scholarship, a private sector scholarship administered by the Association of Banks in Singapore, is now open for application to students in Cambodia and other Asia-Pacific economies. Global Student Entrepreneur Award winner to represent Cambodia. Chhy Sokuntavi of KIT Institute has made the kingdom proud with her winning the EO Global Student Entrepreneur Awards, GSEA, the premier global competition for students who own and operate a business that concluded recently for this year. 300,000 more COVID-19 vaccine doses touched down in Cambodia. Cambodia received 300,000 doses of COVID-19 vaccines from the COVAX facility, adding more vaccines to the country's stocks. Unvaccinated constitute 2 out of every 3 COVID-19 deaths in Cambodia. Cambodia's COVID-19 tally stood at 120,355 yesterday with the detection of 12 new cases, according to a press release of the Ministry of Health. Downside risks for a gradual recovery to robust growth. In their appraisal after 2 weeks of talks with Cambodian authorities, staff from the International Monetary Fund, IMF, in Washington identified 3 downside risks for a gradual return to 6.5% growth in the medium term. As vaccination peaks in Cambodia, exports of COVID-19 to Thailand drop significantly. Where up to 2/3 of all imported cases detected in Thailand were entries from Cambodia, comprising migrant workers as well as Thai nationals returning home, both legally and illegally were being tested positive. In the past weeks, this number has fallen drastically. Border guards receive 120 Cambodian workers who had illegally crossed into Thailand. Police from the Battambang Provincial Police Office said that under the cooperation to prevent cases of attempted human smuggling between the Cambodian and Thai police forces on December 12. More than 500 families in Ekpanum district, Battambang, return flooded forest land. According to the governor of Ekpanam district, Mil Sop Hal, approximately 500 families living in Ekpanam district, Battambang province, have owned up and returned illegally seized flooded forest land in 3 areas to the state. Uncertain future for blaze victims whose 80 houses completely razed. Some 95 families were affected by a huge blaze which destroyed 80 houses last Friday, at the capital's railway, Sra Chat Commune's Village 3, in Phnom Penh's Dawn Peng district. CM Reap to rebuild women's economic losses. For almost 2 years, thousands of women in Siem Reap are still bearing the brunt of the COVID-19 pandemic hardship, with them having lost their jobs in the tourism and service industry. Pre-Vihar Temple taxi drivers struggling as kingdom reopens. The stunning clifftop Pre-Vihar Temple can be accessed by a steep road which only skilled taxi drivers are allowed to drive in order to transport tourists up and down. Krang Krahom community families appeal for government intervention after alleged encroachment of land. More than 100 families in the Krang Krahom community are calling for the intervention of the authorities due to their concern over the encroachment of their community land. Battle of the Mango Farm ends in death of foreign national and 1,400 kilograms of illegal narcotics confiscated. A gun battle between authorities and criminals at a mango farm has left 1 foreign national dead and a massive 1,400 kilograms of drugs confiscated, illustrating the pressing problem of narcotics manufacture in Cambodia. Fugitive murder suspect arrested by police. A man accused of killing an elderly male was apprehended after just 1 day of evading arrests.